Happy New Year, happy 2026. Well, to help you grow your small and medium enterprise, Enterprenuers Hub is the program. Thank you so much for choosing a national broadcaster here to inspire you as far as this year is concerned. You've been a great viewer, walking the journey with us through the year 2025. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Welcome you on board for yet a great year, great episodes, and great inspiration coming your way. Well, today we are sitting down with Sharon. Sharon is the managing director from ICA Lion Insurance. She's here to give us a better plan on how we can handle our finances. You know, when January comes in, as we prepare to embrace January itself, there are a little bit of strains that come through with it. Not forgetting December, when the year is coming to an end, we open our hearts to celebrations, we open our wallets, and forgetting that when January walks in, those strains do come in handy. Not forgetting the school fees, the transport costs, the education costs, the supplies themselves. As we're planning to invest, you know, a little bit of things come in handy, straining us. Well, one would say January has many days ahead. Is it 60 days in January? You let me know. Well, you and I get to understand how many days are in January, and not forgetting the things that I did talk about earlier on, like the transport costs. In other places, the traveling itself, the transport fees are hiked, they're doubled. So we kind of strain, and then not forgetting the school fees itself coming in, taking the learners late back to school, the borrowing that we've been doing at the end of the day. So we walk into January having those debts following us. So we strain a little bit. Another thing you would say, others are based on the salary, it will come in a little bit late. So the other things that do lag us behind, and we fail to embrace the new year that comes in with us. Well, Sharon is here to share with us the financial smart plans that we can handle, the parents, the investors. Well, let's hear it from her and see how we can walk through this plan and embrace the new year, and embrace January itself. Keep watching. Thank you once again for choosing us.
Hello viewers, my name is Sharon Biereta. I work with ICA Lion Life as the Deputy Manager Operations. So again, like you said, December is here and it's a time for us to celebrate. Some of us have to travel to the village, so usually we forget as we spend, we forget that there's that crucial time in January, which we usually say has 60 days, and it's the same time when we are supposed to pay for school fees. So it's very good that you start planning now, then you look at what you need to spend in January, especially on taking the children back to school. You put that aside, and then you make sure that as you break off for the festive season, where you will find you're spending out of excitement, or you're spending because some things have come up, you've already set the money aside and you're able to quickly bounce back and be able to send the children to school. So again, like I said, we struggle a lot because during the festive season, you get so excited, you overspend, where you'd ideally buy very few foodstuffs, you find you're buying more than the usual because you're excited. It's a time for maybe making. So when you don't budget properly, you find that you've overspent during the festive season and you're left with very little to spend in January. So again, you can only avoid overspending if you clearly look at what you need during the festive season. This is the December period, and then you spend strictly on that, and then you set aside what is required for January, and then you also make sure that you keep that away from your reach. You can maybe put that money aside like in a savings account, or in a unit trust, or somewhere where you know that you cannot easily go and pick the money, and you can only access it when that time comes. So I would say smart planning requires you knowing what you need to spend on. For example, if you're to spend on the school fees, you need to be able to look at what are the requirements, what do you need to spend on. Is your child changing school? So when a child is changing school, you need to buy the school uniforms, you need to buy new books. The new school may have very different requirements from what the former school had. So what it means to have a smart financial planning is you look at what you need to spend on these requirements, set it aside. If you do not want to buy them now, you set that money aside so that when the time comes, you're able to get it and you use it to buy the requirements. But better still, if you're able to buy the requirements now in December before the January rush, you can actually go ahead and buy the requirements now so that when January comes, you're already set for the school opening. So education insurance first forces the parent to consistently save, that is putting small sums of money aside, so that in future this insurance comes in to relieve the parent from paying the school fees or looking for school fees at the last minute. So on one hand, it consistently allows the parent to put money aside, which will be helpful in the future. Then number two, it also guarantees the future of the child's education in a way that even if the parent passed on, the education insurance would come through and be able to keep the child going to school because of the money that would come through that insurance cover. Even if the parent maybe got disabled as a result of an accident, still the child's education will be guaranteed because there's that insurance that comes in to push on the child and is able to keep going to school.
Well, it's always a pleasure to spend time with you, and good to know you're still on board. You're seated and you're noting at least one or two things as we move along into this very conversation that we are having with Sharon in this very episode. Well, experts like Sharon do advise us to get into an education insurance plan. Well, this helps parents to avoid the shock of large, or thinking of when schools reopen, you make a one-time payment for school fees. But if you save along the way, like months back, the previous month before we cross over to December or before we cross over to January, because most of us tend to wait for January to get here, and then we start thinking of saving, and then we start thinking of making bigger investments for the year instead of making plans previously, maybe the previous months before we cross over to that very moment when we have to make such investments. We're holding on, keeping our fingers crossed and waiting on to have that inheritance come through, to have that big bunch come through, to have the millions coming through. You need to start saving gradually, leaving alone the piggy banks, saving through having that particular scheme to save throughout the months before January walks in. You save gradually and avoid such challenges of having the shock of large or making a one-time payment, to avoid the debts that come through that tag along with us and make January look so long a month, or make it so, a little bit straining for all of us, yet we are embracing the new season, the new you, the new year, and the new things that you have at hand. Well, let's hear more from her as far as expert explanation is concerned. But she's advising us to get into any insurance or walk into any insurance organization and get the expert attention for you to ease on how you can pay your school fees, on how you can make that investment come through as far as the new year is concerned. Keep watching. It is Enterprenuers Hub.
So for any parent who wants to start saving with an education insurance plan, you have to approach an insurance company that is able to provide an education plan that fits your needs, and they'll be able to draw out a plan that is able to fit maybe the level of education you're looking at covering, look at how you want to make the payments, the premium payments, and then with that you're able to plan out your finances to fit within the plan that you'll have drawn, and consistently save or put aside the money that you'll be later be able to use to cover that education for the child in the future. So when you tell someone to be consistent, they'll think they need to maybe look for let's say big sums of money and then be able to bring them, and then maybe that's what shows that maybe they are consistent or they are committed. So what I would advise somebody is, what I would advise someone to do is be able to look at what is their target that they are looking at achieving. If maybe at the end of the month they are looking at achieving a target of 150,000 put aside, you look at how much of that money can I put aside every day, so that you break the 150,000 into a daily target that you're able to work with, that is small and manageable. So all you have to do is to make sure that you remain true to achieving your daily target, and at the end of the day you'll be able to achieve your monthly target. So that's how I'd look at being consistent in trying to plan for a child's education. So like I said, if you look at how much you put aside, let's say on a monthly basis, a month is too long. 30 days are too many for you to be able to say, now the 30 days have come, I've gathered all the money, now I can put aside this much. But if you look at every day, if you're able to get some income daily, if I use an example of a boda rider, if a boda rider makes let's say 20,000 every day, and he chooses to put aside 10% of that money, that is 2,000 every day. So 2,000 times 30 days, that is about 60,000. Yes, so if you find that if this person is able to put aside 2,000 for the next 30 days, then at the end of the month, this person will have 60,000 put aside, and the 60,000 can be put in a savings plan that will further multiply it. So the person who feels like they earn too little at the end of the day, they just have to look at how much do they take home every day, and then in that small sum they will further remove a small sum of that money and put it aside. And when you do it every day, you'll be disciplined to put it aside every day. It will grow into a larger sum which can further be invested and also grows further. So I would tell the parents that December is a fun month, but alas, January is waiting for them to pay school fees. So as you plan for the festive season, also plan for January. What you can do now is you can look at what you need to spend in January, and then you plan for it now. For those who are lucky to get the 13th check, you use the 13th check to be able to set aside some money to be able to cater for the school fees needs that will be required to be covered in January. And also for those that are traveling to the village, if you can avoid traveling during the last minute where the transport is too high, and then you'll be able to save that money that you can later use to cover the needs for January, then it would also help a lot. Then you also need to look at what is it that you're going to spend on. Are you buying for the whole village the Christmas gifts, or is it necessary for you to be able to do that? Or you can cover a few people and then also leave some little for yourself come January, so that you don't struggle so much. So you need to look at how you're going to spend now, so that you look at how best you can leave some money, so that you can avoid last minute spending, or even getting very expensive loans in January when you're preparing to take the children back to school.
It is Entrepreneurs Hub, growing your small and medium enterprise. My name is Sandra, and you're watching the National Broadcaster. We're here to inspire you. The year is 2026. Happy to be here and blessed. Wow, you and I are really blessed. You should give glory to God for the new year at hand. Well, a beautiful conversation we've been having with Sharon. And well, for now, before we get to know what her closing remarks are, I really take in her advice. it's good to do away with certain things. It's like going out shopping on an empty stomach. Trust me, if you walk into any outlet that has all those snacks, you need to come up with a list and you need to be on a full tummy. Otherwise, you'll end up picking this and the other from the supermarket or from the stores nearby. You go with that appetite or the excitement. Celebrations are here. It's a festive season. You can do away with certain things. Maybe you can postpone your traveling. You can postpone certain items and save for the family and save for you. Because trust me, the moments when you have to carry your own cross. Well, let's hear from Sharon and get to know her closing remarks.
To our clients, thank you very much for choosing ICA Lion Life. Like we say, we are better together, and I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy 2026.
Entreprenuers Hub, giving you a deep and unique insight into agribusiness, services, ICT and innovation, industrialization, and so much more. Entreprenuers Hub, growing your small, medium, and large business entity. With yours truly, Sandra Kahunde, right here on UBC, inspiring Uganda. They usually say January we strain. Yes, we strain after the celebrations. How do you manage your January? Say it's really long. I hear it has about 60 days.
Because, you know, this festive season, December, people are already using up all their resources or their money, you know. So by the time we go to January, things are a bit hard.
So you keep your smile going through January?
Yeah, so you have to, you know, have fun, but also save up for, you know, because that January you can
You felt it before, it has hit you one time.
Yeah, it has to hit you, then you learn. So that the next year, yeah.
Before you start saying the weather, it's too hot, it's getting into our pockets.
Yeah. All the memes, you start posting them. Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good idea. You have to plan months earlier on. It's fitting for our conversation for the day. Thanks.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year too. Please send greetings.
I send greetings to my friends, my family, and the UBC team. From me, Zuhura Birungi, an engineer at UBC.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Well, having ideas from different people, different experts out there, and day to day, on a daily, on how you spend your day to day, hearing from such different faces, different ideologies, different people, different experts. It works for us here as far as Entreprenuers Hub is concerned. Well, celebrations and preparations should always go hand in hand. Well, just like my colleague was sharing with you, she's all smiling through January. She has a better plan. So learn to save, especially when it comes to education insurance plan for our children, for our investments, to have a smooth year running, and to have better plans, the quarterly plans that come through at the end of the day. So sit down, there's still time for you. Yes, do not give up, there's still time for you. And as always, I'll always be here waiting to have time with you every Thursday from 1:30 p.m. on UBC, and every Monday at 8 p.m. our sister channel U24, sharing ideas with different people and seeing how we can improve as far as investors are concerned in our region, Uganda, and as far as having a school stay in school and having smooth years running for them as far as education is concerned. So looking forward to spending more time with you for other episodes ahead of us as we embrace 2026. My name is Sandra Kahunde, and from the entire team here, wish you a beautiful year, a blessed year, prosperous year, and greetings from Godwin Masiga. Ciao, ciao. God bless you.